A major complaint about many open source projects is the lack of decent documentation. Fortunately, that's not the case with PHP, which has an excellent online manual. This is the English language version, but it's also available in many other languages. Just use this Change Language menu here and you can choose the language that you want to read it in. It's available in French, German, Japanese and many other languages. This is a brilliant resource and you should make a habit of visiting it whenever you need help with PHP. The problem for beginners is knowing where to start because there's just so much information here. But this chapter is devoted to functions and this is one of the most important sections, the function reference. So let's go and have a look at that. And the function reference lists all of the built-in functions organized into a large number of categories. And I recommend that you start down towards the bottom. What we need to find is text processing. There it is, and it's strings that's important. Also in the next section, variable and type-related extensions, you've got a link to arrays. But let's take a look first at strings. And this lists all of the string functions in PHP. They're listed here in alphabetical order, and the name of each function is a link, and each function is described briefly with a single sentence. Let's look for strip tags. There it is. Click that link and it takes us to the documentation for that particular function. At the top here it lists the versions of PHP in which you can use this function. When I was recording this video, PHP 7 was still in the process of being finalized, so PHP 7 hasn't been listed here yet, but it will be because strip tags is available in PHP 7. The description tells you how to use the function. This is the name of the function. It's preceded by the data type that is produced as a result of using the function. In the case of strip tags, it's a string. And then between the parentheses is a list of parameters. These are the values or arguments that you need to pass to the function. Some functions don't take any arguments. Some take only one, while others take multiple arguments separated by commas. In the description, each one is preceded by its data type, so the first argument to strip tags must be a string, and the second argument, allowable tags, is also a string. Allowable tags is surrounded by square brackets. That indicates that this is an optional argument. You don't actually use the square brackets when passing an optional argument to a function. This is merely a convention that's used in the documentation. And then the parameters section, lower down, describes the arguments in more detail. The first argument is the input string. That's the one that you want to strip the tags from. And the second optional argument, allowable tags, is a list of the tags you want to leave in. Further down, we've got return values, and that describes what you get back from the function. In this case, it's just the stripped string. In the vast majority of cases, functions don't change the original value of variables passed to them as arguments, so you need to capture the return value either in a new variable or reassign it to the original variable. And most functions, the documentation also has some worked examples showing you exactly how the function is used. The other functions in the same category are listed on the side, and these are all links, so you can use these to go to other string functions. If you know the name of a function but you don't know where to find it, you can use the search field at the top here. So let's search for sort, and it gives us several options there. Let's click the first one, and it takes us to the documentation for sort. So it tells us that it's going to sort an array. The most important thing about this particular function is the ampersand, which precedes the first argument or parameter. This means that the function changes the original value of the variable that's passed to it. So the sort function permanently changes the order of the elements in the array. And the return value here is shown as bool, which is short for boolean. It simply reports whether the sort succeeded or not. That's why you don't need to capture the rearranged array in a variable. The optional argument here, sort flags, is followed by an equal sign and then a value. When an argument is followed by an equal sign and a value like this, it means it's the default value of the argument. So if you don't use that particular argument, it will use this default value. In this case, the default value is all in uppercase. Let's just scroll down and take a look. And under parameters here, it tells you that the sort flags are these PHP constants. In other words, they're fixed values and they're case sensitive, and they mustn't be enclosed in quotes. If you want to combine two constants, you need to separate them with what's known as a bitwise OR operator, which is a single vertical pipe. And there's an example of how to do that. If we scroll down, it's in example number 2. Here we've got two constants that are being passed as the second argument, and they're separated by this vertical pipe. That's the bitwise OR operator. So that's just a quick look at how to understand the documentation in the PHP Online Manual for the many built-in functions. Most functions return a value that you capture in another variable, but others, such as sort, directly affect the original value passed in as an argument.